Okay, let's shift away from being in the hotel industry
Mhm.
to working in Japan. Uh, I know that Japan has opened up. COVID may change it. I don't know, but let's say if I'm interested in working in Japan, what do I need to get ready for? In, let's not talk about the technical bit on getting your papers, but
Yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of your psychology, your
on the
mindset,
psychology part, right?
how do I get ready?
First, I think it would depend on the job, but you would really have to prepare yourself for the first is a culture shock because Japanese people are just so on time. I mean, if you're on time in general, it's fine. But Japanese people are just really by the book. So sometimes if you're used to being street smart and you're like, we can do it this way as well, but you just have to do it the way. Yeah, because it's a lot by the book. It's a lot by the book. And sometimes you just have to get used to it. Then when you get to a certain stage where you can actually influence
Mhm.
the flow of how the workflow becomes, then you start enjoying. So basically the first part
So
of
you have to
working
pay
in Japan is just like you just have to read the dictionary.
uh,
You just have to bring a dictionary with you. It's like just really really by the book. There's no bending, which teaches you a lot as well, a lot of patience.
you have a lot of mistakes during your early days.
Yes.
Step on a lot of toes unknowingly.
Yeah, there was once a concierge actually was really angry with me when I asked him to arrange staff to actually carry luggages for one of my groups when my clients they're actually paying like $5 a bag, and he didn't want to because he's like, we're concierge, we're not supposed to do that. But I'm like, but the client's paying for it, so should we get it going? It's like, then he just went crazy. It's like, who are you talking to? So there are also stuff like that which it's also about pride, like a pride about working, who they are, and who are you to ask them and tell them what to do and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different sights and sounds of working in a hotel. But in general, being in Japan for 17 years, Japan has changed a lot.
It has changed you too.
It has changed me too. Yeah, less hair.
Hey,
Yes.
Jason, I'd like you to share the story of. That's one of my favorite story of you, Jason. It's not so much a story, but a commentary about punctuality, whereby I always remember you telling me this. You if 10 o'clock is the meeting, you come at 20 minutes early, right? 9:40, and then only you knock 10 minutes early or something to that effect.
Yes. So basically, I would always
Share that.
so basically, I would always arrive about 20 minutes early.
Uh-huh.
And then I would spend some time, if it's, if you're going to a client's office, we would spend about 5 minutes in the front door of the building just to, prep on what you need to talk to the client about, because the clients are actually making time for you. So you don't want to be wasting their time with something which it's nonchalant. So I would actually arrive about 20 minutes or 15 minutes earlier, think about what I need to talk about, get to make the point straight, and then when we meet, then I would actually start knocking on the door about 10 minutes before the start of the appointment.
You, Jason, or is it the culture there?
It's the culture in general. So Japan, of course, people do get late sometimes, but they would always call to say that they are late. So it's always very very well practiced in Japan. Even if a client was to arrive late, they would call to say that they'll be arriving late. It will always be very courteous to do that. That's one of the best things in Japan.
I'm talking about the 20 minutes early thing. Is it just you, or is it everyone that, is it a norm that people practice to
It,
come
it
20 minutes early and then, 5, 10 minutes before then they go in?
it's
I
a
thought
norm.
it's
It's
beautiful.
a norm. It's a norm to arrive at least 10 minutes earlier. At least.
Mhm.
That's what I can say.
What are the other nuances of working in Japan that people should be aware of? So we talk about people working until quite late or very, very late. Yeah. Uh, is it something that's expected? So if you're a foreigner, you talk about productivity, but if I go back at 7 o'clock, would I be seen as being lazy?
No, it's started to change already. Before, yes. And why is he going home so early? But now, no. You finish your work on time and you go home. It's all
Uh,
about efficiency because why would you want to stay in the office until 10 or 11 every day?
because because everyone else is doing that, and I want to save my job.
That's what happens before, but now it's not that way anymore.
Mm.
Managers are actually asked to make sure that they manage their staff well. And if there's anything that they can't finish, why they can't finish it, and to make sure that plans, that's why the personal development part of Japan is actually growing very well, especially in the hotels. I make sure that, my team, my juniors, they actually go home early. So it's 6 o'clock, all right? If you need to stay, let me know 30 minutes before 6 to make sure that we sort out what you need to do. And if you need to stay, let's do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're a foreign boss.
No, it's starting everywhere right now. So Japan is changing. Japan is changing a lot.
Last question, Jason.
Yes.
This is a big question. It's about uh, excellence and the Japanese culture of being specialized. Well, one thing that I observe is, they're very good at doing, specific thing. Like if you go to restaurant, they have only just one menu. Yeah. Yeah. Is there something that you can comment about, this attitude about Japanese, about their attention to detail, to excellence? What
Uh,
can you learn on this department?
I think it all goes back to culture as well because in Japan has always been an island country. It was closed to the rest of the world for a very long time, and every part of not every part of Japan, but people tend to specialize a lot in Japan.
Mm.
And for example, one of the most famous products in Osaka actually is knives. They actually make samurai knives or cooking knives in Japan. And one of the most popular souvenirs to actually bring home is a knife with your name encrypted on it. And you actually sharpen the knife yourself. Yeah.
Interesting.
So why, I mean, you can just buy a Tefal knife. Why would you want to go and, make a knife yourself? But it goes through the process. You can actually go into the knife shop and there's a guy who owns the shop, who runs the shop, and he would actually run classes to actually, you know, tell you how he starts plating the metal, and then after that how he heats up the blade and how you sharpen it and how he carves in your name and how you put in the handle.
And people appreciate
Yes, it's a whole excellent process. Yeah. And also about drinking green tea as well. So that's also another process as well. It's about how step by step everything is all from basic. That's a real eye opener for me. I mean, even after living in Japan so long, I still discover a lot of things about Japan that's really amazing.
Yeah. Just as you are explaining it, I just miss going back to Japan. I was just there in October last year.
I know. You should travel again soon, remember.
It's a very different world, Jason. Hey,
Yes.
Jason, I really appreciate you hanging out with me, sharing what you've learned in life. Even though this is our second time doing this interview, uh, it's still very fresh to me.
No, I hope it was helpful to, for your session and for the people who are actually listening in.
Yeah, what I'm hoping out of this is, if for the good ones, they may find a career in the hospitality industry because of this conversation. And for those who don't think that is valuable, at least they know that, hey, this is not an industry for me.
True.
Yeah,
Because hotels will always, like you said, hotels will always be an industry that will stay. And people would always, at some point of their life, they would go to a hotel, use your restaurant at the hotel, buy a bread at a hotel. You would always get in touch, or you actually, experience something that, hotels would bring to you.
Jason, I remember being in Japan, and I commented that to you. I was almost embarrassed to have ladies porter carrying my bags.
Yes.
So what's the deal with that?
It's just everybody's equal.
To that extent?
Yeah, everybody's equal. I mean, there's actually a lot of the workforce now that is actually, a lot of management now are actually ladies. So in Japan, it used to be a country that only let men be in top management positions. I mean, that's a lot for a lot of countries, but right now, a lot of companies has already changed. So there's no worry about letting a lady carry your bags for you if they're working for the bell desk, because they're trained for it.
But they're so small.
It's okay, Shaun. Don't worry about it. It's all included in the service.